Hey, Fireman Bill here. I'm not a real fireman, but I play one right here on the Cadus. Thanks you for joining the fire suppression system training. This is for the Utah Department of Corrections. Hop on in the truck. Let's go for a ride. Here are some things I want you to know by the end of this training. It won't make you a real fireman, but you'll get close. I want you to know the difference between fire suppression systems and how they work, when and how to shut down those systems, how to differentiate between different types of extinguishers, how to use the pass method, that's a good one, and which systems are in your work area. Now, there are several different kinds of fire suppression systems. I have them listed right here. The first one is fire sprinklers. You got to look up to see those ones. A little cool little end on there to help spread the water around when they're activated. The fire risers, which holds those systems back where you can't see them. Kitchen hoods, which are found in, that's right, kitchens. And probably the most popular of all the fire suppression systems are those fire extinguishers that you see all over the place. Now, as the kids say these days, them fire, bro. Ooh, look at that picture of that fire sprinkler. Man, it just gives me chills seeing it work. You know, these little fire sprinklers, they help it, so it gives me time to get from my truck to the building to put out the fire. So, fire sprinklers are a vital part of the building safety features. In most cases, when the temperatures of a certain area reaches a specific point, that glass bulb in there will break, releasing that water for that wonderful water hitting that fire. Fire code dictates, when fire sprinklers are required in buildings. A lot of people, smart people, know where to put those. I'm just here to put out fires. Next up, we have the fire riser. Now, that's not one saying that's going to rise the fire, but it's taking care of the fire suppression system. So those cute little sprinklers that you see in the ceiling, this is what helps maintain that system. Every building that has a fire sprinkler system is controlled by a fire riser. Now, some buildings are cool enough, they have sub-risers that shut off fire water to specific parts of the building. The riser is generally found in a mechanical room and should be identified, saying on the outside, fire riser inside, or it might even say fire sprinkler shutoff inside that room. A building's fire sprinklers can be shut down and reopened at the riser. Now, it's important that if you do happen to have those fire sprinklers go off, do not shut them off until you've been given permission to by the chain of command, saying that it's all clear to shut that system down. So, it's time to turn off that riser system. To turn off the fire sprinkler system, you will first have to identify which riser to turn off. Some risers are standalone and others have multiple risers in one room. So, the fastest way to locate that which one you need to do is to look at the pressure gauge. That's little circle dial that looks like the speedometer in your car. Yeah, take a look at that one. If the needle pressure gauge is jumping from low to high to low to high, kind of like your teenager learning how to drive, they drive fast, they drive slow, they drive fast. Yeah, look at that. Look if it's bouncing around. If that's it, that's the riser that you want to turn off. Once you've identified the correct riser, then you want to turn that shutoff wheel. That's a little, see the arrow there that looks like a really cool red turn knob. Keep turning that until indicating the device turns from horizontal to vertical. Keep in mind that there's a lot of water pressure going through them pipes, and so it may be louder and harder than you think. When you have shut that off, the sprinklers, it will take some time for that remaining, whatever's remaining in that system, the water to come out. Empty out. It does not stop the flow of water instantaneously. Not like that garden hose that you drink out of as a kid. It takes a little bit of time. So, give yourself some time and get that riser turned off when asked to. Now you're asking me, Fireman Bill, well, how do I know where those fire risers are? Well, I told you earlier that there's signage. Well, here's some examples. If you take a look at them pictures, all doors that have a riser located in them are required to have some kind of signage indicating that there is a fire riser inside. The locations of the risers and sub-risers can be found on your evacuation maps located in your staff areas. So look for those really cool maps that show all the cool rooms and points out fire extinguishers and fire risers. Know which key opens the riser room doors. That's the important part because you don't want to get to that door to shut off the system and oops, I forgot my key, or I have to fumble through my keys to figure out which one it is. So find those fire riser rooms, know which key opens them up. Now we're going to talk about the suppression system of the kitchen hoods. Now, I'm not talking about where all your kitchen gangsters go to hang out or, West Valley. We're talking about kitchen hoods inside that kitchen area. So hood suppression systems are designed to extinguish grease fires in kitchen areas and utilize the HVAC system to evacuate smoke and vapors. These are standalone. These aren't connected to any of the other fire suppressions or fire risers or anything like that. There's a special extinguishing agent that is deployed out of the spray nozzles right onto that fire because, well, most of the time in kitchens we have some kind of grease or fat that's burning that water will just make it worse. Hood systems are activated when the temperature reaches a certain point, or someone's smart enough to pull that pull station is activated. So pull that out, extinguishes the fire. Oh, take a look at those fire extinguishers. Aren't they good looking? So the most common fire extinguisher that you'll see is an ABC extinguisher. An ABC indicates the type of fire that is able to extinguish. Class A fires are ordinary combustibles such as wood and paper. Class B are combustibles like liquid, for example gasoline. Class C fires are electrical fires. Any extinguisher that you see that is that silver one, that's the type K extinguisher. These are designed for grease fires. They have the same extinguishing agent as a hood systems, just in a portable form. Makes it a lot easier to get around. There are additional types of specialty extinguishers, and you can always know if your extinguisher can be used by looking at the label. It will indicate what class of fire you can use that extinguisher for. You should make checking your fire extinguisher on a daily part of your job. Make sure they haven't been tampered with. Make sure the needle pressure gauges is in the green. If you notice anything not, please reach out to the safety office and get that replaced, because the last thing you want is to need a fire extinguisher and it's done faulty. Now you may be asking yourself, well, Fireman Bill, how do I use that fire extinguisher? Well, let me tell you. I'm going to show you a video here in a second that's going to show you the pass method. How long should I stay in the area? Well, hopefully that'll be answered in the video as well. And how long does a fire extinguisher last? Watch the video to find out. And with the size of fire an extinguisher is designed for. So let's watch that video.
Portable fire extinguishers are built to extinguish fires that are in the incipient phase. A fire in this phase is roughly the size of an office trash can. If the fire is larger than that and is starting to generate a lot of heat, it's beyond what a portable fire extinguisher can handle. In fact, most portable fire extinguishers only have enough extinguishing agent to last about 30 seconds. In the event of a fire, always make the decision that your safety is your priority. Never put yourself in the position where the fire is blocking you from the exit, and only fight the fire if you feel comfortable and safe doing so. With that being said, here are the easy steps to using a fire extinguisher. Use the pass method. That's P-A-S-S. Pull the pin. If there's a zip tie on the pin like this one has, it'll break with the force of the pull. Aim the nozzle at the base of the flames. Squeeze the trigger. And sweep at the base of the flames from side to side. After you've extinguished the fire, always keep watch for about 15 minutes to make sure it's fully out. Once the fire is out, it's not uncommon for the fire to reignite a few minutes later. So make sure that you're keeping watch until you're certain that the flame is completely out.
All right, let's review that video. Who can tell me what pass method stands for? I'm just kidding. I know you can't respond right here. So pass is pull the pin, aim that, squeeze the handle, and swipe side to side. Very good. How long should I stay at a fire after it is out? That's right, 15 minutes. You got it right. How long does a fire extinguisher last? Anybody remember? Ooh, that person behind you saying it. Yep, about 30 seconds. Just kidding, I can't remember. And last but not least, what size of fire extinguisher? If you're looking at a waste paper basket, now I'm not talking about the big ones that they have in the kitchen, but the smaller ones. Now, what systems are in your work area? Well, I need you to talk to your supervisor about that one. It is your supervisor's responsibility to teach you how to use these systems. The first step is, well, you're watching this training, so get that one down. Now your homework is go find all those different suppression systems in your area. Know how to operate each system and know exactly what is your responsibility for each of those systems. So in conclusion, these are things that you should now know. The different fire suppression systems and how they work. There's 4 of them. Know when and how to shut down those systems. How to differentiate between the different types of extinguishers. We only talked about 2. How to use the path method. I'll let you remember those. If you need to, go back and watch the video. And what systems are in your work area. That was your homework. If you have any questions, please don't reach out to me, Fireman Bill, because I'm only here in Acatus. I don't even have a phone. I need you to reach out to the safety office and have them answer all your questions. And trust me, they want to know. Because the more safe you are, the less paperwork they have to do. This is Fireman Bill saying thank you so much for taking this training. Hope you've learned a little something, or maybe you remember something that you've learned in the past. Whew, it does not get any cooler wearing this turnout coat. Anyway, do you know how you know there's a fireman at the party? That's right, he'll tell you. Or she will. All right, in all serious. What do firemen and cops have in common? That's right, as children, we all wanted to be firemen. All right, this is Fireman Bill signing off. Once again, like my outfit, thank you for turning out to this training. Go ahead and hit exit this training, whichever side it might be on, and get that credit for doing this training.